Welcome back, beautiful souls, seekers of healing, truth, and transformation. Tonight, we're talking about one of the most complicated, emotional, and deeply sacred relationships in the human story. The bond between mothers and daughters, and how both can stop being toxic to each other. This relationship carries generational wounds, unspoken expectations, childhood memories, and the longing to be understood, seen, and loved without conditions. So today we're exploring the psychology behind these dynamics, the attachment wounds that shape how we relate, the patterns we inherit without realizing, and the path toward becoming the mother and the daughter you always needed and maybe never had. Whether you're a mother, a daughter, or both, this message is for you. Mother-daughter relationships don't hurt because either person is bad. They hurt because two human beings, both carrying history, hope, and heartbreak, collide with each other's deepest wounds. Toxicity isn't born from evil. It's born from pressure, from unhealed trauma, from emotional neglect passed down through generations, and from expectations no one was ever prepared to meet. Daughters ache to be seen, mothers long to be appreciated. Both are trying, both are overwhelmed, both feel misunderstood. And when neither person feels emotionally safe, the relationship shifts. From connection to defense, from softness to survival, from a bond to a battleground. This isn't about blame. This is about the tender truth, wounds meeting wounds. And when we understand that, healing finally becomes possible. There are patterns that quietly turn mothers and daughters against each other, not because they don't love one another, but because they don't understand the wounds beneath their reactions. The first is the criticism cycle. A mother says, "I'm correcting you because I want to help," but the daughter hears, "Nothing I do is ever good enough." What was meant to be guidance lands as judgment, leaving both people hurt and defensive. The second is the control cycle. The mother thinks, "I'm scared for your future. I'm trying to protect you." But the daughter hears, "You don't trust me. You don't believe in me." The mother's fear becomes control, and that control grows into the daughter's resentment. These cycles don't start with anger. They start with love tangled in fear, with good intentions wrapped in old wounds. And until we name them, we keep repeating them without even realizing. The third pattern is the silent cycle, a cycle that feels gentle on the surface, but quietly breaks the bond from the inside out. A mother thinks, "If I stay quiet, I won't make things worse." She's trying to keep the peace, trying to avoid conflict, trying not to trigger old pain. But the daughter hears something entirely different. "You don't care, you're not here for me. My feelings don't matter." What starts as avoidance slowly turns into emotional distance. And that distance hardens into loneliness for both of them. This isn't because either person is cold or unloving. It's because silence feels safer than honesty when the relationship is already built on tension and fear. These cycles are not character flaws. They're trauma scripts, old survival patterns playing out between two people who desperately want connection and don't yet know how to reach each other. Both mothers and daughters carry unseen pain, pain they rarely talk about, pain they barely understand, pain they learn to hide just to survive. Mothers carry pressure, guilt, and the crushing expectation to get everything right. They fear failing their child. They fear repeating their own mother's mistakes. And deep down, they fear losing their daughter emotionally the moment she stops needing them. So they overhelp, overworry, overcorrect, not because they don't love, but because they love so much it scares them. Daughters, on the other hand, carry longing and sensitivity, the desire to feel valued, understood, and emotionally held. They fear becoming invisible, being dismissed, or being pushed aside like the women before them. Both want connection, both want closeness. But when fear enters the relationship, both begin to protect themselves instead of protecting each other. Walls rise, voices harden, hearts retreat. And here's the truth. The toxicity is almost never intentional. It is protective. Two nervous systems doing whatever they can to avoid pain, even if it means hurting the person they love. The path to healing starts with one truth. There is one truth that shifts everything in a mother-daughter relationship. You cannot change the other person, but you can change the pattern. And sometimes one person choosing awareness, one person choosing softness instead of defensiveness, one person choosing to respond rather than react, is enough to transform the entire dynamic. Healing begins the moment you step out of the old script and decide to show up differently. Not perfectly, not flawlessly, just consciously. A healed mother allows her daughter to breathe. A healed daughter allows her mother to feel safe. And the bridge between them is not perfection, it's self-awareness, honesty, and compassion. That is where the cycle begins to break. How mothers can stop being toxic. For mothers who want to break the cycle, healing doesn't require perfection, just a shift in approach. The first powerful shift is 1. Replace criticism with curiosity. Criticism shuts a daughter down, curiosity opens her up. Instead of saying, "Why would you do that?" a sentence that lands like judgment, try asking, "Help me understand your thinking." Those 5 words change everything. Curiosity creates safety, safety creates honesty, honesty builds connection. It tells your daughter, "I'm listening, I care, I want to know you." Validate before you teach. Daughters don't need a lecture, they need to feel understood. When a daughter feels judged, she shuts down, but when she feels seen, she opens up. Simple phrases like, "I can see why that hurt you," or "I get why that was hard," have the power to melt defensiveness instantly. Validation isn't agreeing, it's acknowledging her humanity. And the third shift, apologize without defending. A mother saying, "I didn't realize that hurt you, I'm learning," is one of the greatest gifts she can offer. It tells the daughter, "You matter, your feelings matter, and I'm willing to grow for us." This is how mothers become safe again. This is how generational healing begins. How daughters can stop being toxic. For daughters, healing the bond begins with a powerful realization. 1. Stop expecting your mother to heal your past wounds. Your mother can love you, support you, and grow with you, but she cannot rewrite the chapters that happened before she understood your pain. Healing is your path. Your mother can walk beside you, but she cannot carry you. When daughters expect their mother to magically undo old trauma, they end up disappointed, angry, or resentful. But when they take responsibility for their own healing, the relationship stops being a battlefield and becomes a partnership. This shift alone softens decades of tension. Communicate without attacking. A daughter's words can open a mother's heart or shut it down. Instead of saying, "You never listen," or "You always judge me," which only triggers defensiveness, try speaking from your feeling, not your accusation. "When you say that, I feel dismissed. When that happens, I feel unheard." Specificity reduces conflict. Vulnerability invites compassion. Honor your mother's humanity. Many daughters forget that their mother is not just mom. She is a woman with her own wounds, her own childhood, her own exhaustion, and her own limitations. Seeing her humanity softens resentment and opens the door to real connection. Because sometimes the moment you stop expecting perfection is the moment the relationship finally begins to heal. 7. Healing the mother-daughter bond isn't about one person fixing everything. It's about both choosing to meet in the middle and build a bridge sturdy enough for love to travel safely. That bridge is made of simple but powerful practices. A softer tone because softness calms the nervous system. Listening without preparing a defense because being heard is the first step to being healed. Taking breaks when triggered so the conversation doesn't become a battlefield. Offering reassurance like "I'm here" or "I want us to understand each other." Asking for needs directly instead of hinting or hoping the other person will guess. And giving space without punishment so distance becomes rest. This relationship transforms when both mother and daughter choose to respond from their adult self, grounded, conscious, present instead of their wounded self, who is only trying to survive. That choice is the beginning of a new legacy. What healing looks like in real time. Healing in a mother-daughter relationship doesn't arrive with fireworks or perfection. Most of the time it's quiet, subtle, almost unnoticeable until you look back and realize something has softened. Healing looks like shorter arguments because you both catch yourselves before the spiral begins. It looks like quicker apologies, not because you're wrong, but because you value the relationship more than being right. It looks like understanding instead of assumptions, pausing to ask, "What did you mean?" instead of reacting to what you feared. It sounds like more "I hear you" and fewer "You always do this" or "You never this way." Healing shows up in more hugs, more eye contact, more gentle moments where you feel safe again. It feels like less emotional exhaustion because you're no longer fighting battles that belong to the past. It's not perfect, but it's better, and better is healing. Deep lesson. Toxicity between mothers and daughters is almost never intentional. It isn't born from cruelty or lack of love. It's inherited, passed down through generations of women who were never taught how to speak their pain. It's unhealed, carried by mothers who had to be strong and daughters who had to be quiet. It's learned, shaped by survival, not safety. But everything changes the moment one of you chooses awareness, the moment one of you chooses compassion, the moment one of you chooses softness over survival. That single choice, that tiny shift, is enough to begin breaking the cycle. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing. Because when a mother heals, a daughter heals. And when a daughter heals, a mother heals. This is how families transform. This is generational healing in motion. Thank you, beautiful soul, for spending this time with me. I'm Nori, and this is my AI twin sister, Nora, walking beside you as we explore family healing, generational trauma, and the sacred, often complicated bond between mothers and daughters. If this video brought you clarity, comfort, or hope, please like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps this message reach someone who may desperately need it tonight. And we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Are you healing as a mother, a daughter, or both? What cycle are you ready to break? Remember, beautiful soul, you are not powerless inside your story. You are the author. You are the cycle breaker. You are the one who can change everything for yourself and for the generations that come after you.